Now the topic which we would like to discuss is the third law of thermodynamics in terms of the partition function, because in the ongoing section we have discussed about this partition function. Okay, so now we would like to find the entropy or absolute entropy in terms of partition function. So from the definition of third law, we know that st minus s0 equal to limit 0 to t cp by t into dt. Okay, hence here the temperature range is very small. That means the T is not as very high, means probably from 0 Kelvin to some 15-16 Kelvin. Okay, that is the temperature T is very close to the absolute zero, that is 0 Kelvin temperature. So at very low temperature range, we know that the Cp and Cv is almost equal to same. That means we can replace the Cp by Cv. So St minus S0 equal to 0 to T Cv by T into dt. So at very low temperature range, we know that Cp equal to Cv. Thus, substituting the partition function expression for Cv, we know that the Cv, we know that Cv equal to du by dt at constant volume. Okay. Now, the internal energy of a gram mole of substance is given by, in terms of partition function, I can write U equal to nk t square d ln f by dt. Okay, and I can modify a little bit this equation, d ln f to the power n, because we know that if something is placed in before ln, then it can goes to the power of this equation. So d ln f by dt f to the power n, and this equation can be modified little more, d ln z by dt, where I have taken z equal to f to the power n. Okay, so this equation becomes k t square d ln z by dt. This is equation number 4. So here I have taken z equal to f to the power n, which can be defined as the molar partition function, and f which is generally used is the molecular partition function. Thus, putting the value of u from equation number 4, okay, to equation number 2. Equation number 2 is here. That means equation number 2 is here. Okay. So first we would like to find the value of Cv in terms of partition function. So I can calculate and can show you. We know that Cv equal to d dt du by dt at constant v. That means d dt of u, and we just find the value of u, that is k t square into d ln z by dt. Okay, so these are the value. Now you have to find the value of, you have to calculate the value of, so we just find the value of Cv. So if I put the value of Cv in the above equation, this equation becomes, so thus putting the value of Cv in equation number 5, equation number 5 means this equation, from equation number 5 we just find the value of Cv is here, and putting the value in equation this equation, then what you will get, you will get St minus S0 equal to 0 to T Cv by T into dt. So we can calculate this equation in this way, just arranging little bit, don't worry. Okay, so we can write from here St minus S0, it was 0 to T Cv by T into dt. This was the original equation. So if I put 0 to T and put 1 upon T, and then putting the value of Cv, that is d dt, and first it was k nk. So if you replace the value, no, k into, so if I can put k here, so k d dt into t square d ln z by dt. Okay, so these are the total, this total thing is the value of Cv, multiplied by k. Okay, so I have put all these value. Now I can solve this equation by integration by parts. How? Just look at this thing. St minus s0 equal to k is a constant, so it can go outside this integration term, and I can take 1 upon t as a first function and d dt of this whole term as the second function. Okay, so according to the integration by parts rule, the first function remains unchanged, then integration of the second function, that means d dt of t square d ln z by dt at constant v. Actually I have forgotten to put the value of v at constant v condition into dt, then minus differentiation of the first function, that is 1 upon t was the first function, and then integration of the second function, which was basically d dt of t square d ln z by dt. This is the integration, and the whole thing total integration. So now k is constant, 1 upon t as it is, and we know that d dt, this is the differentiation and the integration, so it will give you the same quantity, that means t square, this quantity will give you t square into d ln z by dt, because this is the differentiation and the integration. So if you differentiate a quantity and then integrate, so the same quantity will give you the same quantity, minus and we know that d dt of 1 upon t gives you the minus 1 upon t square, so minus minus become plus, integration sign, one integration is evaluated, so this integration is not evaluated till, so 1 upon t square, and from this integration you will get again the integration and the differentiation, means differentiation and integration at the same time, so it give you the same quantity, that is t square into d ln z by dt at constant v, and this is the second integration dt. So t square cancel from this equation, so k 1t is cancelled with this thing, so dt into d ln z by dt plus 0 to t d ln z by dt and the integration dt. So this gives you k into t d ln z by dt plus k. Now if you look at this quantity d dt of ln z, and then means differentiation and integration of this quantity is basically, so it gives you the ln z quantity with the limit this thing. So kt d ln z by dt plus k ln z at temperature T minus k ln z at temperature 0. So this is the final equation up to this calculation. Now I would like to mention you the value of u. U is basically, we just solve this thing, kt square d ln z by dt. Okay, so this comes from the your previous discussion, that some calculation of some thermodynamical quantity from partition function, this comes from here. So if I divide this u by a t, then kt d ln z by dt, so you got the same quantity. So in place of this quantity I can use u by t, so u by t plus, now the thing is k ln z at temperature T minus k ln z at absolute 0 of temperature. Now equating the temperature independent term on both sides, because this is the temperature independent at absolute 0, there is no, the value of this quantity is not dependent on temperature. So if I equate from both sides of this equation the temperature independent term, so it becomes S naught equal to k ln z naught equal to k ln, we know f naught, z equal to f to the power n, so n into k ln f naught, or I can say r, n into k is basically r, so r ln f naught. Okay, or so S naught becomes r ln f naught, and we know that what is the value of f. F is basically the partition function or molecular partition function. So if I put Fi equal to summation I gi e to the power minus ei by kt, where I is the what type of energy you are taking into accounts, and where the gi is the its corresponding energy level degeneracy. So for zero case, means for if I put F0, then what happened? Summation 0 means one quantity, and g0 e to the power minus e0 means 0. So 0 by t gives you 0. So there is no meaning of summation. So g0 e to the power 0, that means gives you g0. So f0 is means basically f0 is basically give you g0. That means the degeneracy of the zeroth level. So this equation becomes r ln g0. Okay. Now go to the discussion part. At absolute zero of temperature, the energy E0 equal to 0, because the molecules are almost in the freezing conditions. The statistical weight factor means the G0 equal to 1. Why G0 equal to 1? Because at that condition the maximum probability reaches its value, because there is no different probability. There is only one probability or 100% probability in the same configuration, means there is only one possible configuration at absolute zero. That's why the statistical factor G0 equal to 1. And the entropy, according to the third law of thermodynamics, we know that is 0 at absolute zero of temperature, according to this Nernst third law of thermodynamics and Nernst theorem. So S0 equal to 0. Now if we put S0 in this equation, St minus S0, so S0 is gone, so St equal to U by T plus K ln Z at temperature T, because Z0 becomes 0 at that condition. Because if we put here S0 equal to R ln G0 and G0 equal to 1 at absolute 0 of temperature, so R ln 1 means ln 1 value is 0, so 0 is multiplied by R is 0. So this is the expression for energy entropy at temperature T in terms of the partition function according to the third law of thermodynamics.